And welcome back to the Financially Simple Experience. Today, friends, we're going to talk about building a committed team for the 8-figure exit. Now, I want to talk about the title. I'm using the term building because this is a tactical move. This is a move that's going to require forethought. If you go to build a house, there's a lot of thought that goes into the plans. A lot of thought it goes into the concept, the floor layout, the fixtures, internal, external, to get the homeowner exactly what they desire. The same is true for a team. You've got to build the team. You've got to take a proactive, forward-looking approach to aligning a correct team for the outcome. So we're building a committed team. Not a team that is just there for a paycheck, but a team that is going to work with you through the 8-figure exit. We know we want an 8-figure exit. We know we want that. In order to achieve an 8-figure exit, you will be reliant upon people that perhaps may not experience as much of the financial windfall that you will as the CEO or the primary shareholder. So you're going to have a team that's committed to go with you through, not to, but through the 8-figure exit. Why do I say through? Oftentimes when you go through a transition, specifically an exit, when you go through an exit, the buyer is going to have some sort of a contingency to make sure that what they're getting is truly valued at what they're paying. So they're going to have some earnouts, some clawbacks, some various things. The last thing that you need as a seller is to go into a transition, specifically an exit, go into a transition only to have your team become a flight risk, or only to have your team be totally unengaged or disrupted toward the overall mission. So I want to talk about building a committed team for the 8-figure exit. Now, as we approach the 8-figure exit, we're going to go through many types of changes. We talked about change management last time, and we're going to go through many types of changes. Perhaps, as I mentioned last time, you may have to change your custodian. You may end up looking at a merger versus a sale. It may be the existing owner is trying to exit and no one else. It may be that you're going to have to change the leadership within your company. Maybe it's the company structure or the service offering or the ideal demographic or client. Something inevitably is going to have to be drastically changed in order for you to reach your 8-figure exit. So I want to focus today specifically on your team, specifically on the employees that are locking arms with you, walking toward your aspired destination of the 8-figure exit. And as we're walking toward the 8-figure exit, our company should be growing. Our revenue should be inclining versus declining. We should see our margins increasing, not decreasing. So as we're walking toward this exit, more than likely, we're going to be growing a team. See, if you're going into atrophy or if you're having to terminate people for the exit, it gives the buyer a different look. They don't look at the company in the same focus or the same viewpoint. Many times buyers want to buy a company that is growing, that's accelerating, that's going to yield them the results they need, because the buyer knows that whenever they go through a transition, things are going to change. The revenues are likely going to fall because of just the transition of itself. So as we look at today's context of the growing our team, we understand that we have to grow our employees through a professional growth, and we perhaps may even need to hire new team members. So let's begin with, why is this important to the owner? Why, as the owner of the company, why should you be worried about growing your team, whether it's through professional development of your current players or bringing on new players? Because 20% of M&A transactions among RIAs use a variable payment tied to the future performance of the company. And that's according to TD Ameritrade's Insight study. There's another one called Succession Resource Group that says 25% of the deals in 2020 had significant clawbacks involved. So in the financial space, which we're talking specifically to financial advisors in this episode series, in the financial space, more than likely your value is going to be based on future performance, not based on present data points. Now, perhaps you're not a financial advisor and you own a different type of a service company, a different type of company. That's okay. The context we're going to use today and the information we're going to use today, you can apply it to your own business. But as I mentioned in previous episodes, I have so many financial advisors who reach out and say, hey, Justin, help. And we actually opened up a consulting arm specifically for financial advisors to help financial advisors reach that 8-figure exit. Maybe that's you. You're a financial advisor and you say, hey, man, I need help. Reach out to us. We have advisors, business advisors who can help you drive the value of your company. Maybe you're not a financial advisor. As you've known for years now, since we've been doing the Financially Simple experience, we work with business owners nationally. I love helping business owners. We have a team of business advisors that can help you, grow your value of your company. So why it matters to you specifically, why the team and the attitude, the competence, the composure of the team, why it matters is, number one, you're going to have clawbacks and potentially earnouts. Number two is it increases profitability. If we get the right team built, we win. Everything rises and falls on leadership. You, the leader, have to put together the right players on the team for you to reach your destination. I love looking at this mindset of sports. In my first book, The Ultimate Sell, I write about the dream team, the basketball team that just dominated the universe back in the 80s and 90s. It was amazing to see how those players worked together. Because they were so talented, no one could touch them. Because they worked as a team for a common goal, no one could touch them. Literally, it was crazy to watch how powerful they were on and off the court. So the team matters because it increases profitability. It also increases revenue growth and potentially shifts your multiple. If you have a rock star group of players on your team that are nationally awarded, your multiple could be shifted. You may end up getting a higher multiple, not necessarily the revenue, but the multiple, which gives you greater exit value. Who would the buyer rather acquire? Would they rather have a team that has proven, that has national awards, national accolades, that are well recognized within their particular industry through name recognition, or individuals that are the opposite? Certainly they would rather have these top-tier performers, these top-tier players through the acquisition. And thus, by building the right team, you could increase the value of your company just through a multiple shift by increasing the multiple. So we know to the owner it matters because it's going to directly impact your pocketbook. But what about to your employees? Why does it matter to them? Why does it matter to your current players that we're building a specific team? Jack Welch, who's a former CEO of GE from 1981 to 2001, he made this statement, which I've read this statement. I have it on several different places in my own life. I think it's even in my book. And it says, before you're a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Success is all about growing others. John Maxwell, who I famously quote consistently, says, everything rises and falls on leadership. So as a leader, here's why it matters to your team. I love the book by Matthew Kelly called The Dream Manager. He makes this powerful quote. He says, quote, help your employees in the direction of their dreams and you'll create the most dynamic environment in corporate America. It's a very powerful book. And what it's showing is that the business owner and the employees do not have to be in opposition. If you can enable your team members to achieve their personal goals and professional goals, you can improve their career prospects, you can spark a higher employee retention rates, and you can boost productivity. There are all sorts of data that Matthew writes about in his book that proves these data points. So your job in order to build the team is to build engaged employees that are going to stick with you through the transition. So how do you manage their dreams? You could develop a program that helps identify where the employee wants to be and how you and the company can help them achieve that. According to Zippia, which is a employee engagement company, 92% of employees say that employee training programs have had a positive effect on their engagement. So if an employee wants to earn a designation or if they want to earn a knowledge level, a certificate, by helping them achieve that, they get more engaged in the company. There's data points which prove that. Companies with engaged employees are 17% more productive than those without. So as you're the owner trying to build a team to help you reach your 8-figure exit, you have to realize that they are looking at it through a lens of how is this going to impact my dreams? How is this change? How is this additional work? How is whatever you're imposing or trying to help them grasp the vision of the company, they're looking at it saying, how is this going to impact me? In his book, The Alliance, Reid Hoffman states that, quote, 75% of employees say they are willing to use their own time to further their careers and take on additional learning that would benefit them at work. 75% of employees are willing to help themselves work better on their own time. That's the type of players we want on our team. Interestingly enough, Stacy Burke, who is the founder and managing consultant at Expand HR Consulting, and she says, quote, employees are realizing that they need to broaden their skills in many areas to keep fresh, focused, and current and move forward. With the technology tools available in learning and development, they were also finding that these programs can be engaging and exciting. Plus, they add an acquired skill to their resumes, potentially for internal and sometimes external promotions. Friends, as the business owner, we have a vision. We're trying to get to an 8-figure exit, but we can't do it alone. We're going to have a team dedicated beside us. We're building a team. As you begin researching what it takes for you to build a team to reach the 8-figure exit, you're going to realize that you have to create alignment in vision. Your vision for the 8-figure exit must also empower your team members to reach their goals. How is what you're doing day in, day out, how is the employee's life enhancing to the goal that they have? That is what matters to the employees. So, how do we start investing, or how do we build a team that is engaged? I use the word committed, that is committed to the 8-figure exit. First thing you got to do is you have to know your team on a personal level. Now, maybe you're in a small company right now, you're dealing with 10 or 20 people within the company. That's one scenario where the CEO, the owner, can know everybody on a personal level. As the company grows, this is improbable, impossible. As the company grows, your leaders are going to have to know their reports on a personal level. They have to know what are the dreams of those employees. Do they have the skills needed to grow to that dream? You can then, once you know where they want to be, where the employee wants to be, and if they have the skills, you can then assign tasks. You can then build education journeys. You can do whatever you need to do to help that employee reach their goals. So I love helping business owners reach their goals. And I could tell you horror stories from the trenches. I can also tell you many success stories. One such success story, I'm going to call this person Chris. Chris came to me years ago and said, hey, I want to accomplish this type of a move in my company, but I need, let's name her Sally, his particular position in the company. Sally is going to have to be dedicated. I need to have her come alongside. As we build a dream plan for Sally, Sally was going to have to take on some additional responsibilities, take on some education that she had never done before. She was going to learn things that she had never seen before. At first, as we've showed Sally, hey, in order for you to be where you want to be, in order for the company to get to where it wants to be, here's your track that you're going to have to walk. As Sally began walking the track, she fell in love with a different position within the company, a different position that she was better equipped for than anybody ever knew. Now let's fast forward 4 years. Sally is now the owner of the company. She would never have dreamt that in times past. But for the success journey, but for the dream journey that she had, hey, I want to be here in the future. And Chris, the CEO, aligned their training so that the company and Sally could both win. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take you or your direct supervisors to identify where does your team want to be and how we're going to get them there. And this is not platitudes. It makes me so sick to see business owners just do platitudes. And it's like, yeah, we can do that. Just lip service, as my dad used to say, just lip service. No, we're talking about putting hard dollars and time, dedicating to helping your team reach their goals in the same light that they're helping you reach your goals. Now, as the company grows, And as you're building your current team to their desired destination, and as you're driving the company to the 8-figure exit, inevitably, you're going to notice that more than likely you need new team members. You need players on the team to replace old players that just don't have the competency or the skill or the desire to go forward. Or the company is going to continue to grow and you're going to need new team members in new positions to help them go forward. For example, you may need to create a client onboarding specialist position, just somebody who is there to work with the clients to help them onboard easier, provide a higher level of competence. Maybe you need to make a strategic hire of a new advisor. Maybe you, the business owner, works with a significant number of clients, and then your job is to step away. So therefore, you need to bring somebody alongside you that you can hand the clients off to. There's a number of things that you may uncover as you're driving to the 8-figure exit. According to the 2022 RIA compensation report done by Schwab, recruiting staff is a top priority for all RIAs surveyed. Number one priority, top priority, according to the 2022 Schwab study, was recruiting staff. In the same report, it said 80% of firms report they plan to hire in the near future. And this was in 2022. I ran across a quote by Lisa Salvi, who is the managing director in business consulting and education at Charles Schwab for the advisor services. She had a very interesting quote. She said, and I quote, "The past few years have underscored that people are truly a firm's most important asset. And it's not surprising, based on current growth rate, the industry, talking about the entire financial industry, will need to hire more than 70,000 new staff members over the next 5 years. 70,000 new staff members. We cannot deny this one assumption, that if we continue to grow our companies at the same growth rates we have today toward our 8-figure exit, that our team composition will change. More than likely, we will have to have new team members. All the data points to the fact that we will be hiring new team members. So in doing so, let's create a compelling employee value proposition statement. Let's create, when we go to recruit somebody, hey, here is what our employee value proposition looks like for you as an employee of our company. According to the blog Mint HR, which is an international HR solutions firm, it said that a well-crafted employee valuation proposition statement can improve the new hire quality by up to 50%. It also noted that organizations that have a strong employee value proposition have a 41% lower employee turnover rate. 41% lower employee turnover rate. So friends, as we look, we're going to have to enhance our current team, but we're more than likely going to have to hire new players. Before we move on, I want to remind you that this is a journey. Working toward your 8-figure exit is a journey. Your team will need to know precisely where they and the company is going and how it specifically impacts them. But here's my warning to you. You, the business owner, you, the CEO, do not get sucked into the day-to-day fires, the day-to-day HR issues, the day-to-day employee concerns as you're trying to pat people on the head, as I heard one person say, and lose sight of the destination, specifically how the ride is going to impact the team. I have a story on that. We were mahi fishing, my family and I, down in Florida this past summer, and we rented a boat. We went about 30 miles offshore. My wife and my youngest son, Jude, were on the boat with us, and my daughter, my middle son, Justice, we've gone on mahi fishing many, many times together, but my wife and my youngest son wanted to go with us. And the day we went out, it wasn't calm seas. It was 2 to 4 foot seas with swells getting 5 to 6. And if you've ever been offshore, you know that a boat can just, hop waves. And occasionally you're going to get one of these rogue waves that's just going to make the entire boat just slam down to the water, and it jars everything. I would have ruined the trip for my wife had I let the boat do what the boat could do. She would have bounced around. My Jude, my youngest one, would have bounced around, and they would have got wet. My son, my Justice, and Savannah, we would have laughed. We would have got soaked with salt water, had fun. my wife and youngest son would have hated it, and they wouldn't have enjoyed the journey. So as the captain of the boat, in this particular example, I had to adjust the speed and the destination slightly for us to accomplish the goal. The goal is to, as a family, go catch mahi, make a memory, and laugh. But if I got so bent on reaching a specific destination within a specific time frame, it would have become unpleasurable and I would have missed the goal. We would not have had fun as a family. My wife and son would have hated it and never gone back. And consequently, after we adjusted, we went out fishing several more times and had several photos and several things as a family that we have laughed about. The same is true within your company. As you're driving your company to the 8-figure exit, your team is just like my wife and the son. They don't want to be beat to death. They don't want to feel punch drunk, as one person said to me recently. They don't want to feel punch drunk. They want to know that what they're doing matters in the end. As you think through this, keep in mind, this is my last section, that value growth during a transition, value growth going up to the exit, value growth as you change products, customers, the operational structure of the company, value growth is paramount. If you want an 8-figure exit, more than likely you're going to have to increase the value of your company, or else you could exit today. So as you enter into a transition, it's time to come back to systems and processes. As the CEO, as the business owner, you're aligning your team to the destination. We're talking about building a team. There's no better way to build a team than to have the team members systematized, to have the things that they do dedicated in workflows and processes and SOPs that allows the team to be able to measure how their work is weighing. How is their work directly impacting the mission? Value growth. This concept of value growth is paramount, friends. You have to bring your team alongside so they know day to day their actions are driving the company to the destination. And there's no better way than to have written SOPs, written processes, written systems that now you can track KPIs, key performance indicators, to show the team, hey, because of this department, because of this individual's efforts, and by them hitting these metrics, here's what the company yielded as a result. Here's where we're at now in our journey. It's a journey. It's a journey. We were driving to Key West, Florida from Tennessee. It's 15, 16, 17 hours without traffic. When you go through Atlanta and Orlando and different places, it can easily become 20 hours. And it had been a miserable trip had we not had this little thing on our GPS that says, here's where we're at, here's how much further we have to the destination. It gave us the resolve we needed to continue through the trip. The same is true through your team. Change is hard. Change is hard. But change can be good. Change opens up opportunity. Change opens up opportunity for not only you, but for your entire team. So as you build this team, friends, align the vision of the company with the vision of the employees. And in doing so, everybody wins. If you don't know how to do this, hey, reach out. We know how to do this. We handle growth, value growth for business owners across the United States. Maybe you're a financial advisor and you're like, dude, I need help. You had an 8-figure exit. Help me. Hey, reach out. We have a team of experts, myself included, that can come alongside and help you build a business to achieve your goals. Until next time, friends, I realize life is hard. Change is hard. It is. But it doesn't have to be frustrating. Let's continue to make our lives at least financially simple. Y'all go out and make it a great day.